Do not let the sleek 30mm turret of China, newly upgraded ZSL-92B armored vehicle fool your tactical judgment. While global media platforms and simulation games like War Thunder celebrated this massive 6x6 platform in their early 2026 updates, a harsh strategic reality unfolds across Asia. The People's Liberation Army of China is not reviving a legend, but instead preparing a formal funeral for the era of its medium-wheel infantry. As of June 2026, open-source defense intelligence indicates that the vastly superior 8x8 Type 08 platform has successfully achieved an 87% saturation rate across all frontline medium combined arms brigades. This aggressive technological shift leaves the aging ZSL-92 fleet facing an existential crisis. The original flat-bottom hull configuration of the vehicle offers near-zero modern protection against improvised explosive devices, while its thin 10 to 13mm side armor remains dangerously vulnerable to 12.7mm armor piercing rounds at short combat ranges. With frontline survivability dropping to zero in modern high-intensity conflicts, leading global defense analysts argue that the classic 6x6 fleet is now tactically defenseless against peer adversaries. On paper, their only tactical salvation would be an immediate reassignment to secondary homeland security or border patrol operations. Why would Beijing heavily invest in a 30mm upgrade for an armor system that they are actively purging from their elite combat formations? Before we go on, if you want to master the hidden shifts in global firepower, hit that subscribe button right now. Do you think a bigger gun can save an outdated armored vehicle from modern combat drones? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and tell me where you're watching from. To uncover the real reasons behind this dramatic operational displacement, defense planners must dissect three fatal mechanical vulnerabilities that modern engineering simply cannot fix. The primary failure of the legacy ZSL-92 rests entirely in its obsolete firepower configuration. The original 25mm ZPT-90 autocannon completely lacks a stabilized two-axis fire control system. On the modern battlefield, this technical deficiency means the 15.3-ton vehicle must come to a complete standstill to achieve any degree of accuracy. In an era dominated by rapid counter-armor responses, remaining stationary for even 3 seconds leaves the platform exposed to instant neutralization. Furthermore, the automotive backbone of the system has reached its physical limits. The Jute's 320 horsepower diesel engine was designed to handle a maximum weight of 15,000 kilograms. Attempting to install modern ceramic composite applique armor or heavy digital battle management networks pushes the power-to-weight ratio well below 20 horsepower per ton, rendering the vehicle sluggish and physically overwhelmed. Finally, a severe logistics crisis plagues the fleet. Internal maintenance assessments from the People's Liberation Army logistics departments indicate that the central tire inflation system exhibits a 34% mechanical failure rate when subjected to prolonged deployments in rugged high-altitude border terrains. When pneumatic lines fracture and internal pressure drops, a medium-armored vehicle loses its primary tactical advantage, which is high-speed mobility. For elite combined arms formations, these cascading engineering flaws mean the platform is no longer a tactical asset, but a severe operational liability. Leading global defense analysts argue that on paper, trying to salvage this legacy 6x6 architecture for peer warfare is a zero-sum game, forcing a complete pivot toward the highly stable 8x8 Type 08 network. Instead of abandoning thousands of legacy chassis to the scrap heap, the Northern Industries Corporation, known as Norinco, has executed a clever economic and tactical stratagem through the ZSL-92B upgrade package. On paper, the integration of a single-axis stabilized 30mm ZPT-99 autocannon appears to offer a massive lethal boost, capable of a high cyclic rate of 300 rounds per minute. However, global defense analysts note that the underlying electronics remain dangerously limited. The gunner operating system still relies on an aging image intensifier night vision matrix rather than a modern thermal imaging sensor. This specific hardware bottleneck means the ZSL-92B cannot effectively compete against peer-armored formations during dark all-weather combat environments. Intelligence data tracking the deployment timeline from late 2025 into mid-2026 confirms that this upgrade is not meant for high-intensity frontline warfare. Satellite imagery and regional open-source reports reveal that the People's Liberation Army is actively stripping the ZSL-92B of its primary offensive military insignias. These vehicles are being repainted into the standard security livery of the People's Armed Police, retrofitted with heavy steel wire, anti-riot mesh over the windows for urban law enforcement duties. Simultaneously, defensive units along the secondary border sectors facing India and Myanmar are absorbing these platforms to replace unarmored transport trucks, significantly increasing local static firepower while isolating elite units from logistical redundancy. For Beijing, the ZSL-92B serves as a massive operational showroom. By demonstrating a low-cost functional modernization kit on their own secondary fleets, Norinco is directly targeting cash-strapped defense ministries across Africa and Latin America that currently operate older WZ-551 fleets. This commercial maneuver allows China to squeeze the remaining financial value out of an obsolete engineering asset while completely freeing up frontline budgets for the mass production of next-generation network integrated armored vehicles. Ultimately, the tactical sunset of the ZSL-92 in elite formations is not a sign of military weakness, but proof of a ruthless evolutionary filter driving the defense strategy of China. Beijing is entirely willing to discard a 30-year icon to ensure absolute uniformity across its mechanized forces. By completely replacing the legacy 6x6 architecture with the highly digitalized 8x8 Type 08 and the emerging Type 19 modular platforms, the People's Liberation Army is achieving an unprecedented level of operational speed. For the broader Indo Pacific theater, this sweeping modernization carries massive strategic implications that leading regional defense analysts are closely monitoring in mid-2026. The complete transition to these modern 8x8 platforms standardizes the combat weight of the medium infantry at a precise maximum of 24,000 kilograms. This engineering decision is mathematically optimized to match the interior payload capacity of the Y-20 strategic transport aircraft. Consequently, instead of struggling with mismatched logistical chains, the Air Force of China can now rapidly insert a fully networked, digitally integrated medium combined arms brigade to any regional flashpoint within a tight 48-hour window. The ZSL-92B upgrade may linger in secondary internal security roles or fill foreign export catalogs, but the frontline reality is clear. The era of low-cost, Analog armored vehicles has officially ended, replaced by an aggressive, highly connected rapid deployment capability. This massive shift forces neighboring militaries to completely reassess their defensive doctrines against a fast-moving, digitally superior adversary. Can low-cost modernization kits like the ZSL-92B ever hope to survive on a modern battlefield saturated with loitering munitions and artificial intelligence-driven drones? Or are military planners who rely on them simply building mobile targets for the next major conflict? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below.